Alright, and now we have all of our highlighting done. We just went through and just kind of did a nice little brush, dry brush over the surface, and picked out some of the details and give ourselves like just a little bit more depth onto each of the bases. And as you can see, they're really starting to come along now. What we want to do is go ahead and take our reikland fleshade, and we're just going to take a little bit on a smaller brush here, and we're just going to go through and pick out the skulls that we added onto the bases here, and we just want to go through and just hit them with a little bit of the reikland fleshade, kind of give them like that little like brown kind of like old bony look. And it doesn't have to be too crazy. We don't want to get it like all over the place. We just want them to stand out like a little bit different than the rest of the bases. So we'll just go through and pick out all the ones that we added a skull to or that already had a skull on it. And we're just really looking to like kind of get a little bit more color, a little bit more depth to our bases. Again, we don't want them to be too crazy, and we do want them to be sort of like a uniform overall color. But at the same time, we do want when people would like pay attention to them and do take a look at it, they can see like all the little bits of detail and everything that we did put into it. But that way it's not like drawing away from the actual model itself. Like when you initially go to look at it, you want like your attention to be drawn towards the model, towards its face, the head, the details. And then as you sort of like explore the model, as you start looking other places is when you want things like the bases and stuff like that to start to stand out and catch people's attention, and them to see like the extra little time and effects that you put into them. So, but yeah, that's it. All we're doing is just going around and doing up all of our little skulls right there like that. So, alright, and now that we've achieved our desired effect, we're basically just going to go ahead with a chaos black, just a little bit watered down, and we're just going to take it and do the rims of our bases with a um, nice black coating. And we do just want to be very careful with this and make sure that we don't get it over top, and just watch the angle that we painted on at, and then also where we put our fingers at, so that we don't touch it or smear it onto the areas that we've already done. And we're just going to go ahead and do that for all the bases, and then we'll come back with our finished product. Alright, and here we have them all finished. And we just went around and did a abbadon black with just a little bit of water mixed in with it to do the rims of the bases. And now you can see it really makes the detail stand out, and gives us a nice contrast on them. But you can see like the dark sits down in the crevices real nice, and then like the kind of brighter areas and the sharper corners have been picked out by the highlights. And then we also have like a nice little bit of a variable in like color and texture with the skulls as well. And you can see on the ones for the Adeptus Custodes jet bikes, they give us a nice solid look. And then we have the holes drilled out in the middle, so you can put the flight stands in here, or you can switch them out with the clear stands as well. And it's a cool effect with the ruins, definitely gives it a nice look and everything. Nice colors, good contrast, and then again it's going to give enough detail that if somebody looks at it, it's going to look real cool and custom and everything. But it's not so much detail and so much color and everything that it's going to draw away from the model. And that's why I don't like to use a ton of colors on the base, because a bunch of colors or bright colors or whatever can really take away from the model. So and you don't want that to happen. You want obviously like the model to draw all the attention, and then afterthought to be like the base or some cool little detail that kind of catches their eye or whatever. So there we have it. We did basically ends up being exactly 50 bases total here. It's 45 for the Sisters of Battle army, and then another 5 for our Adeptus Custodes jet bikes and the Vexillus Praetor. And then we did a custom one for the Canoness, and total invested in these bases. We have a bunch of the Citadel skulls from one kit. that we've been using throughout a ton of our projects. So, you know, even if you said a quarter of a Citadel Skulls kit, which it obviously isn't, but you said $5 for skulls, and then you take the bases that come with your models, and then some sand you can obviously get for free. But if you bought one of those little temple pieces that we showed off, you know, you can get one of those for about like 20-30 bucks. Alright, and there we have it. When it's all said and done, we basically did 50 different bases for our 2 projects, for around you know, 25-30 bucks. So essentially it's like 50 to 75 cents a base. So it's well under what you would expect to pay for third-party bases. And although it did take a little bit of extra time, they're custom, and you're not going to see them on the tabletop anywhere else, which is always a cool effect. Nice and easy, and they turned out fantastic. Obviously have a great look, and now that we have the contrast of the black rim, you can really get the effect of the overall set of the bases. And that's probably a pretty cool way to like show them off, honestly, like that too, because you can kind of really see what's going on, get a little bit more of an idea there. But there we go, guys. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and that's our custom bases, and I'm signing off.